The Nicki Minaj and Cardi B feud is alive and well, people, as Nicki came for Cardi on Queen Radio and Cardi revealed she's definitely not sorry.
Wow, and Kendall Jenner makes a shocking confession about her relationship with Kylie when they were growing up.
And after days of Ariana Grande receiving tons of hate and blame for Mac Miller's death, one of his friends is stepping up to defend her. We're talking about all of these stories right now on Hollyscoop's Daily Rewind. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Hollyscoop's Daily Rewind. I'm Madison Hill.
And I'm Devin Howard.
The first thing we're talking about is Nicki Minaj and Cardi B because, oh my gosh, there's just still so much happening.
Is this ever going to end?
No, I really don't think it's going to end until we have another altercation that probably blows up even worse, which is a terrible thing to say, but that's honestly the only thing I feel will end this once and for all.
It's so annoying. I'm over it, but tell us all about it.
So
I want to hear
you
about
all
it.
know that Nicki and Cardi B's feud came to a head during the Harper Bazaar's New York Fashion Week event. You know, when Cardi was, throwing the shoe at Nicki, that big whole thing.
Yeah.
Thanks to Cardi's statement on Instagram, we know that the fight likely started because she believes Nicki talked poorly about her child and her ability to be a mom. Now, Nicki is speaking out about the fight on Queen Radio, and wow, I thought she went hard on Travis Scott. This is next level.
It is seriously some next level stuff. I mean, she's not mincing any words.
No, and since it's her own radio station, she can say whatever she wants,
Yeah.
and no one contradicts her. So she maintains that she has never spoken ill about Cardi's child or her ability to be a mom.
Would never, has never, and will never speak ill of anyone's child. I am not a clown. That's clown.
I mean, she said it in some, some interesting words.
Yeah.
But she still denies the claim. Nicki ended her rant saying, quote, "You're angry and you're sad and this is not funny. Get this woman some help. This woman is at the best stage of her career and she's out here throwing bottles and shoes. This ain't funny. You put your hands on certain people, you're going to die." Now, since we've kind of had that, there's been different interpretations of that last piece of what Nicki had to say. So when I heard that, I kind of comprehended that of her saying, Cardi better watch out because she might have not responded physically to that fight, but someone else will, and that's where she might be in trouble.
So that's not how I took it at first,
Yeah.
but now that I hear that from you, I can totally see that. The way I took it was that Cardi needs to watch her back, and if she tries to put hands on any one of Nicki or Nicki's team or entourage, then things are not going to end well. But I mean, this whole thing is just, it's insane because if Nicki was saying those types of things about Cardi and her ability to be a mom and whatever, I would understand why Cardi would be upset. Throwing shoes, can't get behind that, but it just seems like it's a lot of she said, nothing's adding up, and they're reacting so intensely to these things that may not even have happened.
No, it's like we're getting two sides and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Right.
Even though Nicki's words were super intense, Cardi could not care less. In a new report from TMZ, sources close to Cardi revealed that she stands by her actions and has no regrets with how she handled the situation. Sources close to Cardi say that she still adamantly believes that Nicki talked poorly about her child. Despite what she said on Queen Radio, she's sticking to her convictions. And while Cardi isn't, quote, seeking Nicki out for another round, she's ready to defend herself in a similar way if the situation arises. So, I don't know. That's why I say I think we're going to see something else happen.
Yeah.
I don't know when it'll be. It might be a year from now, 5 years from now. I just don't. With so much emotion and anger from both sides, something else is bound to happen.
I agree. I do think something else is going to happen. I don't think that Nicki would be dumb enough to say rude things about culture. I don't think that Nicki's that type of person. Maybe there is some other stuff going on, but yeah, it's all gonna blow up eventually. I wish it would end. I wish these two women would just stop fighting.
If they just collaborated, they would be so powerful. And it would be awesome.
It would be so powerful, yeah, and the music they would make would be so good. Obviously, that's wishful thinking. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
All right, next let's talk about Kylie and Kendall. So Kendall Jenner recently sat down with Beats One Zaza World Radio alongside her sister Kylie, Jordan Woods, and Jaden Smith, and she made a pretty surprising confession about growing up with them. So she admitted, quote, "I was so mean to them sometimes just because they had all of these friends. They were living it good and I was so lonely and in my bed by myself." So basically she was mad at Kylie for being popular and having friends. That's kind of what I take that as.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to be mean to your little sister about.
Right?
And I don't imagine that Kendall was actually alone in her bed. Do you think so?
No, I do not believe that. I mean, I know growing up probably in the spotlight at a young age does feel lonely. Kylie's opened up about that before, but it's very hard for me to comprehend that a younger sister was the one just like rolling around with all these friends and the older sister is just like begging to hang out with them, because normally I feel like it's opposite.
It's definitely opposite. And also Kylie, like when we see her on camera, Kylie is very reserved. Doesn't seem to say a whole lot, doesn't seem to do a whole lot. Kendall, on the other hand, has all this personality and she seems more fun and does a lot more, like they both seem great, but Kendall just seems like she's more of like the life of the party type. So how was she the one who was like angry and alone and isolated?
It's very weird. She then went on to open up about how music helped her during those times where she was jealous of Kylie and her friendships. However, this is funny. Don't think that she was sharing her musical finds with her little sister and her friends, because that would just be terrible. Jordan Woods actually reflected on a story where her and Kylie were in the car with Kendall and they would like her music and be like, oh my God, what song is this? Who is this? And she would never tell them who it was. Like she would keep it to herself.
That is something I would have done. I was such a little music snob in high school. If my friends were like, who's this? I'd be like, I'm not telling. I'm gonna keep it all to myself.
Oh my gosh, I just find that so funny.
My sister one time wanted to wear one of my concert shirts for this like undercover band I liked, and I wouldn't let her.
Like, do you know any of the songs? You're one of those people. You are one of those people.
I was.
Okay. She did redeem herself at the end of the interview when she says that they all played a part in her success. She said, quote, you guys were there for everything. I was going to say we are so blessed because not everyone gets to experience it like that. We all got to do this together and it's so beautiful and we really can't take it for granted. So although she was jealous of them back in the day, obviously Kendall has her own model group of friends now and is clearly doing just fine.
Doing just fine.
Okay, last but not least, this is something I really want to talk about, and I know you feel the exact same way. Ariana Grande. So as we filled you guys in yesterday, Ariana posted her tribute to Mac Miller on Instagram shortly after the news of his apparent overdose broke. And that one picture is all it took for the internet to completely turn on her and place blame on her for his death.
I mean, so wrong.
So wrong on so many levels. So since then, she's remained silent. She turned off the comments on her Instagram. Hasn't tweeted nothing. Now one of Mac Miller's friends is speaking out and defending Ariana. His name is Shane Powers, and he went on his podcast recently to speak out about Mac and assure everyone that Ariana had nothing to do with what happened. So first he kind of reflected on their relationship. Take a listen.
There could not have been anybody more supportive of him being sober than Ariana.
And he spoke very, very highly of Ariana. He said that she was always calling and checking in and seeing how she could help him. And he witnessed those phone calls and he was on the end of some of those phone calls. And then Shane said, quote, this little girl was unbelievably involved and helpful to him being healthy. So I just think hopefully now people can lay off. I don't know.
I think it's important to realize that Ariana is living every woman's nightmare who's ever been in a relationship with somebody who has abused alcohol or drugs. This is every woman's nightmare. She had to do this for herself. She had to leave a toxic relationship so that she could preserve her own humanity, her own sanity, you know? And so for people to be turning around and blaming her when Mac himself wouldn't even be blaming her. And his friends are not, I think it's so good that his friends are speaking up and saying something, because I think that the fans right now are just not understanding.
Right. And it's someone with prominence needed to speak out, because even yesterday, you know, I talked and I was like, this is so inappropriate. This is not okay. She's grieving. And other fans on Twitter were, you know, defending Ariana. But now that someone close to him and someone who really saw kind of the inner workings of their relationship come out and say, you know what? She dealt with a lot. She did the best she could. She couldn't change him, and she had to leave that situation, and what's happened since then is nothing on her.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping now that someone close to him speaking out will kind of level out all of the anger and the hatred that's coming her way, and just people let, you know, her and his friends and his family grieve in peace. I feel like all this Ariana drama is taking away from remembering somebody who made such an impact on the music industry and so many people. And we're letting something that's so minuscule deflect from that.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling to me.
It is mind-boggling, and I think for the Mac Miller fans who are blaming Ariana, take a second and realize how devastating it is for you to lose an idol or a musician who you really like. It's more devastating for Ariana. Have some compassion.
Absolutely.
That's what we all need to do.
Okay, we'll step off our soapbox now. You guys, let us know what you think about all of these stories. What do you think about the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B feud? Going strong, what Nicki said on Queen Radio, and Cardi having no regrets. And what do you think about Kendall Jenner saying that she was mean to Kylie and her friends while they were growing up? And last but not least, let us know what you think about Mac Miller's friend defending Ariana Grande. Talk it out down there in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys here next time on Hollyscoop's Daily Rewind. Bye, guys.